Yeah, I stayed in Tassie to finish my schooling, go to university, great university in Tassie, the law school, very well regarded. I was close to home. If I needed anything, mum and dad were 15 minutes away. Idyllic lifestyle, very safe and secure, as I've said before. And I was 17 when I started uni, so what was I to know? But I reckon looking back, I'd say to myself, just be a little more open-minded to the big wide world, because it was only when I did go abroad through the States and then to the UK on my own, work overseas and see, a less idyllic lifestyle and be exposed, I guess, more to the realities of life. Did I appreciate there's a lot more to do, and I by no means do I feel dissatisfied or feel unfulfilled in what I did post university. Great education, great experience in the law in Tassie, thrown in the deep end, jack of all trades. I could have ended up, in a multinational in Melbourne or Sydney or overseas and been very much, in a machine, which would have been less satisfying in many respects. But I think perhaps just a willingness to, cast off those bow lines and test yourself. And I did that later in life when we went to Singapore. As a pandemic engulfed the world, it was almost impossible to get in and out of the country. My wife and I, Nikki, did 3 rounds of quarantine in hotels in Australia, 14 days in a locked room without a window opened, with our young daughter, just to get back in and see our kids. It was not easy for anyone who had to do that, and there are thousands of Australians across the world who felt a little cut off from our country. So to go to a really important foreign service post in Singapore, enormous steep learning curve for me, albeit with political skills, foreign policy and those things which I had less experience to. Great team I worked with in DFAT. We did it in the middle of a pandemic. Everyone was fearing for their lives and the safety of their loved ones across the world. We were isolated. We kept things together. And ran a good ship and got a lot done, but it was very challenging and it tested us, and it tests as a family and and certainly me and Nikki as parents. But to your point, I think being prepared to take those risks, I'd say to my younger self, just give it a go. Anything's possible, and there's a big wide world out there, so go for it.